is happening, everybody? TC here with Smoky Mountain Knife Works, smkw.com. Looks like I've got a Maury Ford here.
Hey, that's right. That's
Maury,
right. Glad
thank
to be
you for
here,
joining
man.
us. No, actually, and I'm going to play that, but I'm going to like mute all that out. And so everybody's going to be like, well, what did he say?
So this is the main camera, and then this is for the product. Is that
Yeah,
so? Okay,
yeah.
if I'm looking straight here. Okay.
So we've got some really cool new stuff here.
Yes.
And we got some cool stuff that you've kind of hinted at on the way that I'm really excited about. We can't really talk about it yet.
A little early, just
yeah.
a little early, but hey, it's some excitement building. That's what we like.
It is, and I'm super stoked. Before we get started, though, we need you guys to do something there on that side of the camera. I'm pointing at you, so we need you to hit that thumbs up button. All right, we need you to follow us on social media, subscribe to our channel. Follow us across all social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, all of that stuff. We're talking about cricket knives. We've actually got a new TikTok that we're going to be filming here very soon. That's going to be funny. I actually had a situation in the store that inspired this one. So
Well, that sounds fun.
we got some cool stuff going on. Now the only thing we need to do before. Thank you guys for that, by the way. And ring the notification bell so you'll know when these videos drop and you get to see really cool stuff and you get to talk to really cool people like Maury, all right? Now, light it up because these are going to put that fire out.
That's right. Here we go.
So yeah, I actually had a situation on the floor the other day where I was coming back up here, and there was a mom and her little kid, and the kid said something about wanting to go see the toys, and the mom goes, "Honey, this isn't that kind of store. This is like big kid toys. They don't have like actual toys here." And I was like, "Oh, you're looking for toys? If you just go over there to that water wheel right there and go right down those stairs, there's a huge toy department right there at the bottom of those stairs." And I looked up at the mom, and the mom goes,
Yeah. If looks could kill, right? If looks could kill. Like, are you kidding me?
It was hilarious. Oh my
man.
gosh.
Well, it is good. You guys have everything in this store. And obviously, right now, getting into the holidays, you can find something. I don't care.
Yes.
Knife enthusiast, gun enthusiast, just enthusiast.
Yeah.
So it's awesome down there.
And Greg and I were talking about this the other day. When it comes to knives, a knife is the perfect gift for Christmas.
Absolutely.
No one is going to be upset about getting a knife. I mean, I don't care if you get me a $5 gas station knife. I'm still going to be like, it's a knife.
So TC, people ask me what I'm past the point of needing gifts for that, but they're like, "What do you like?" I said, I really like some knives. Like, are you kidding me? Do you not get enough of that? I'm like, when you start looking at knives, they are so cool. And I tell people this because they're like, well, my dad or my uncle or my wife or whatever, they have a knife. I'm like, you can give them their 200th knife and they act like it's the first knife they've ever got.
Exactly.
They're as happy with that. Doesn't matter, almost if it's a duplicate.
Yeah.
But on the case side, I always say go something new because then they probably don't have it.
Exactly.
That's your best chance of doing that. But it doesn't matter how many you have.
Yeah.
That next knife is going to be your favorite knife you get for a while until you get that next knife. So really cool.
Speaking of new case knives, so
Yes.
we've got some really cool ones here. Let's start off with this one here. So a big one for us every year is our Christmas Trapper.
So this
our
is the
exclusive
flagship item for Smoky typically, and we're honored to be a part of that. This started, I think we're in the 22nd year, maybe?
Yep.
The 22nd year of the Christmas Bell Shield Trapper. And it's kind of evolved. It started with a great idea. Ed Jessup in our office was talking to Kevin and said, "Man, we need to do a Christmas knife." And I think Kevin came up with the Bell Shield, or maybe it was Eddie. And then later on, we added that sleigh shield in there too, which I absolutely love. That was kind of a takeoff of Ralph McDonald deal when we originally were working with him on Santa Claus stuff. So we kind of were in a Santa Claus theme for a while, but it just made perfect sense on the Christmas knife.
And with the dual shields, it kind of sets it apart. It makes it something obvious that it's very special.
Yeah, 100%. It makes it very Christmas. And for a while we thought, well, this is really specific. But man, people collect these. This will typically be one of the very top items that is for sale at Smoky.
Yeah.
One of the top volume items that we produce at Case, just because it is such a high volume item for you, and you guys are such a big customer.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you the people that start early in the year, man, what's the Christmas knife? When's the Christmas knife coming out? Because they got to make sure they get it.
Oh, yeah.
Great collection to start. We talked about something new every year. We haven't done this one before because it's dated 2022.
Exactly.
It's Christmas. We do the version that has the kind of the scrolling on the bolsters. This has snowflakes on the bolster. And then we do a plain version. So there's 2 versions of each. But man, one of the hottest items, sugar plum.
Sugar plum, yes.
Hey,
so
sugar plum's dancing in your heads? Are you kidding me?
It's funny. So I've got a friend of mine that I've worked with for years now, and his dad's a case knife collector. He's a case knife collector. And he asked me the other day, he goes, have you guys got the new case Christmas knife in? And I said, actually, we did. We just got it in. I think it was literally the day we got it in. And he said, what does it look like? And I said, well, it's called the sugar plum. And immediately his wife goes, does that mean it's purple?
Yeah, there you go.
And I said, oh my gosh. So the name really does spell it out. And as soon as I said it was purple bone, she was like, I've got to have one.
Yes.
I've got to have one.
I think purple's a real trendy color right now. It's one
of
those in colors. So it made a lot of sense that this was going to be this year's knife. And again, usually the bolster artwork, I know Brian Wilhoit works on that, and he works on it with the folks that actually scroll the bolsters there.
Yeah.
And it's always fantastic. Always complements the knife really well. But I like them both. I like the scrolled. I like the plain.
Yeah.
But it dresses it up. So what a great item to add to your collection. Only at Christmas.
Yep.
Each year. They usually sell out quick.
And we there's a limited number. Yeah.
Yes,
so.
yes.
And you're talking $59.99 for the plain one, $69.99 for the one with the embellishments on the bolsters.
Yes.
Nickel silver on the bolsters, and brass pins and liners. I mean, just classic case
fantastic,
quality.
Fantastic. Yeah. And people, like, man, it seems early for Christmas. It's not. And this one usually.
Not if you go to Lowe's, I can tell you that right now.
That's right. Everybody has their trees up. But you're also, usually by the time we hit the month of December, these are in really short supply.
Yeah.
And when we get into that end of the first week of December, they're sold out. So wouldn't want anybody to miss that. That's not a high pressure pitch. It's just like, if you want it, don't wait too long.
Exactly.
These things go really fast.
Yeah.
And as we've delivered them a little earlier, and you guys have done some billboards before and things like that, and they just we're at the showroom today for a special weekend, and everybody's asking about that.
Right.
Where's the Christmas knife? Here it is. I'm getting it now. Getting it now. Give me 2 of them. So I'm like, that's fantastic.
Absolutely. Now, this is a new series, and when these came into the store, now I'm going to go ahead and say I saw them and I was like, that's something that looks really cool, and I think that could be something special. Well, it ended up, I talked with several of our employees, and you got to think, our employees see knives on a daily basis. They see new knives on a daily basis. And this is one that several of our employees have already picked up pieces from this series because they're like, I haven't seen anything like that. That's different. And so this is the Black Sea
Dichloram.
Okay, that's what I
thought.
I was
10 people, they might pronounce it a little differently, but
I thought so. I was getting it right. That's how I was pronouncing it. And so these have a little bit of variation in them from one to the next. No two are going to be the same.
Right.
And we'll take a look at that one up close. That's just gorgeous. So
it is one of those things that I agree with you, that when you walk by the counter, when you see it we have trade shows and stuff, they stop. It's almost startling how brilliant that coloration is. And if you look at it, it actually has depth.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that it almost looks 3D as the longer you look at it. We first saw this material, and Smoky was a big part of this when we saw this material at the Blade Show. It was the last Blade Show pre-COVID, so it was actually 2019. So it's taken a while to get to that. You might remember we did a pilot test run.
We did,
that you guys had exclusively, and that was because Smoky was right there when we found the material. This is when you really want to get into the chemistry of a material, man. If you look at kind of that S&D sheet or that safety data sheet of Dichloram, and you look at what goes into it and the materials, man, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
And all I know, so I'm pretty simple spoken, but when I was at the Blade Show talking to the company that made it, they got over my head in a hurry. But when you talk about it, it's not just like a synthetic.
Yeah.
It is a lot more complex than that. But because it is that way, the coloration that you get, the depth that you get, everything about this material makes it super special.
Yeah.
So it is harder to work with. So that has created some challenges with us. This is the first full release that we've done other than the pilot test run. We're working on a few other really cool things, kind of that preview of things to come for Smoky specifically.
Yeah.
But one thing that's cool about this series, this is part of our holiday supplement, and you're going to see patterns that are actually out of production. I told you we started this 2 years ago, right? So when you look at the baby butter bean,
this is my favorite so far. I absolutely love this little thing, and this is one of my favorite patterns. I love it because it's a little more unusual. It's one that you don't find very often.
Yes, everybody refers to that as cute, and it's. I used to be offended by that. I'm like, it's a knife. You can't say it's cute, but then you hold it like.
It's
Gosh,
cute.
that is kind of cute.
It is kind of cute.
It is kind of cute. So the baby butter bean, it's kind of a miniature canoe. You know, some people call it the mini canoe because
that's what I've called it for years.
Yeah, the case butter bean was the larger canoe. You know, it's kind of that's kind of a retro, old fashioned term for the canoe. So this was the baby butter bean, and it's been in the line for a long time. It is out of production right now.
Yeah.
So in 2022, we haven't made it, but we did make it for this line because this was originally going to be done last year.
Well, and that's one thing I wanted to point out. So that's the cool thing about this series of knives, folks, because this is one of those little, I guess, collector kind of deals. So if you look at the Trapper here, you're talking about an 8-dot stamp. So that's coming. That's a 2022 stamp.
Yes,
on that one. But
that one is
on the Butterbean. You're talking a 9-dot stamp on that one. So that's a 2021. Like you said, last year, since this knife is not in production anymore.
You're going to see the same thing with the teardrop. This is that Tony Bowes pattern teardrop. Both of these are out of production in 2022.
Yeah, but
they'll both have 2021 tang stamps. This was going to be our fall 21 release with COVID. With 90 other thousand things that you don't have time to talk about right now. But some of these got pushed out, and then they got pushed from spring even to fall.
Yeah. So I think that in and of itself makes this even more collectible.
Yes.
And even more special because you're not going to find the congruency across the board for tang stamps there. And another thing that I think is really cool about this one and that really sticks out for me is that they don't have shields. The logo is actually put into the bolster, into the main show side bolster right there. And you'll see the Case XX shield logo on the bolster. And I think that's really cool. I always look for me as a collector, I look for something unique that's maybe a little bit different. Like with the tested XX shield on the Jade Kinfolk series.
Yes.
With the Case logo engraved in the bolster on these. I look for little things like that I can add to my collection that I can say, okay, this one's a little bit different than these over here that have, the traditional oval shield. I've got several of those too, but this is something that's a little bit different.
Well, and I would be really interested for comments because we have a lot of, when we're developing some of this kind of in our innovations, some folks really want a shield. They want that Case branding on it. It's on the bolster, so I think that's good. Some products we can't. When you look at pearl and abalone, it's so delicate. When you look at the Deep Canyon stuff, then it's just has too much of a grain or too much of a rut. One of these, honestly, the material was so nice that we thought, we hate to even break that with a shield. So we put the Case logo, and I'm always a big fan of, listen, I want the brand on there somewhere. I want them to see it when it's laying in the counter.
And know what it is.
Not have to look at the tang. So I believe in that. But I would love to hear the comments of your folks to say, hey, is it okay if some things don't have a shield?
Right.
I like the uniqueness. When I'm in a session, they can always know if I'm there because I always love the bomb shield. I just focus on that.
Absolutely.
That is my favorite shield.
And the propeller for me.
I love the propeller. Yeah, I love that one too. But those old style, kind of those old classic shields, more than the round oval. But I like them all. But I would be interested to know that. But this particular one was very intentional. That we're like, this Dichloram is so unique, and to really see the depth in it, it almost looks like water drops in there.
It does
when you look at that. And I don't know if you'll be able to see that on camera, but if they're holding one, they're going to be able to see that great. So we'd like, a shield would just kind of get in the way of that.
Right.
So let's try it with the Longtail C. This is just the Longtail C logo. So sometimes we'll put 2 X's, sometimes we'll put tested. We kind of mix that up too. Hopefully everybody likes that variation like you and I do. But yeah, in this one, we just decided to put the branding and the trademark on the bolster, and that's deep carved in there. So, most of the things that we do like that are done in the manufacturing process. So it's not like a secondary mark.
Right.
We want it to be very substantial in the knife.
Yeah.
So that you can't duplicate it.
Yeah.
You'd have to take that. You have to start that knife over to duplicate it.
Right.
So it's good.
So as of right now, we see this in the full size trapper. We also see it in the mini trapper here. We see it in the baby butterbean, the teardrop. We've also got it in the rust lock and in the Stockman.
Yes.
So, and I'm assuming these are going to be the only patterns that this is coming out in now.
This will be the only ones for the fall, and we'll do. This was part of our holiday supplement, so we'll have that, and we'll have a few of these out. But yeah, so this will be that. We are doing more stuff, and we talked about that.
Yeah.
Coming in the holiday, we haven't done a lot of new stuff throughout the year, trying to catch up.
Right.
But we're ready to turn the juices on and get some new stuff going, and. You guys have got some great SFOs out so far, but you got some more coming too. So these are fantastic, and this series is going to be. I think it's going to be a home run not only now but for years to come.
Yeah.
So
anything immediate on the horizon that we can talk about that we haven't seen yet in the store, but is on its way. And
there's some things that I think in our holiday supplement folks will like, and it's starting to get the word's starting to get out. So I don't feel like we're selling trade secrets just yet. No. But one of the things we did, and I think you guys had it on the show, we did some S35 slip joints, and you're going to see some buffalo horn S35 slip joints, which. I've seen some images of those, and so when can we expect to see those actually hitting the shelves? Those should be hitting the shelves probably mid to late November. So it's going to be a little bit, but it should be in plenty of time for Christmas.
Okay.
So that's going to be there. We've got some other series. We've got the natural curly oak that you saw the picture of. That one's going to be fantastic. Got a smooth red bone. We're going to have a natural micarta. We've got some new to our stained glass series, the items there, and those have done so well for us. Knives that kind of speak to your, I won't even say to your character, but maybe to some of your passions in life, have really resonated well. So we're doing some of those. Just a few other things. Again, we've had a dry spell on new stuff, and from a sales guy. And I said I haven't been here in a while. And I think that's why you're like, Maury, bring me something new.
Right?
Yeah. We enjoy talking to you, but we need to have some new stuff. So we've got some new stuff for the holidays. The circular exclusive item, I saw that in the showroom. We've got the Swell Center, which is this year's vault pattern.
Yeah,
we've got a unique thing with that you guys will have that goes with our Christmas circular, and then some really cool stuff in our modern. You'll see. We did a CPM 20 CV modern knife, and we did some that had kind of the textured or milled handles, and we did the orange and the dark earth brown. So we're kind of expanding that. One thing that we've noticed in our production is trying to get our production up. Doing more modern knives doesn't really impact our slip joints. So we are really trying to get more capacity in our slip joints. With the modern knives, good equipment, machinery, good grinding equipment, you can kind of ramp that up a little bit quicker. So you're going to see some modern knives from Case. Both you're seeing some now, and you'll see some more next year. But you're also going to see some really cool slip joints. And we've got, man, I am pumped about 2023. A couple of reasons. I want to get out of back order with you guys. Maybe that's why you really haven't seen me.
You want to get us off your back.
I want to get off the naughty list, but we're working towards that. So once we get caught up, and we're hoping that first quarter of 23 is where we really hope to turn. Well, we're turning the corner now, but we'll really be in our stride.
Yeah.
And then we can really reintroduce some new, exciting, innovative things. And we've got some things we've been working on the last 2 or 3 weeks that I am charged up about.
Heck yeah.
As a sales guy, I'm very impatient. When I see something that's really cool, I'm like, I don't want that for 2024. I want it like now for Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's some great stuff on the horizon for Case. We really, and I tell people this all the time. They see a lot of things that come out maybe new and modern knives are great. And if you haven't used one, I'll give my quick testimony. I'm using the Marilla. Love this knife.
Yep.
It is fantastic. It's a great tool, great work knife. But slip joints obviously is our core. We're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to find new things, new materials, like the Dichloram, like some of the things that we're doing, working with some other great folks in the industry to kind of help us to keep feeding this great, passionate consumer that we have, and the knives that I personally love. I love modern; it's great, but man, I'm a slip joint dude.
There's something about the warmth and the heart that goes into a slip joint knife.
My goodness! I had a chance to talk to a really good knife maker. Somebody we all know the name very well, but I won't say that just to protect his identity. But we were talking about case knives, and probably the best compliment maybe I've ever heard about one. He's like, Maury, case knives have a soul. He said, these knives are not just, they're so much more than just a cutting tool. These have a soul. You pour these American workers' blood, sweat, and tears into these, and we use natural materials, and we make them in the USA, and they stand for a lot. It's not, and we love it that people collect them. That's great that you hand them down. But there is something intangible that you really can't put your finger on it that makes it special. And that's why I'm a slip joint guy. I always will be. But now I do enjoy my modern knife. And I can tell you when I'm working in the yard, that's what I go with.
Right.
That's what I go
Absolutely.
with. But I always have a slip joint in my pocket. I will never be with just one.
Same.
Same.
And
if it is, it's going to be a slip joint.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Maury, thank you so much.
Hey, I always enjoy it, TC.
And
thanks for letting me come in and blab. And sorry if I ramble a little bit, but just like you, we love what we do. We love knives. I love to be in this store, and we're here on your fall festival, so we get to just talk to consumers for 2 days or 3 days.
Yeah.
And just to see what these mean to them.
Yeah.
And just see how they use them. I love it.
Absolutely. Folks, as always, it's been me, TC, here with Smoky Mountain Knife Works and Maury Ford.
Yes.
And we're always loving to show you really cool new stuff. We've got some more really cool new stuff coming up. And I tell you what, these next 2 months are going to fly by, and we're going to be in January before you know it.
Christmas. How crazy is that?
It's going to be insane.
And you'll be doing your SHOT Show stuff.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
It's
and
coming.
Then we'll be telling everybody what that vault pattern is for next year.
What's that? I don't know. Hey, Greg. No, we'll be excited to announce it.
Yeah.
We usually do it right here, so
Yep.
We'll have some stuff that'll be good. I think they're in for a real treat.
Me too. Absolutely. Folks, stay tuned for more. We'll see you right here at smkw.com. Have a good one. Where's that?
Wait, this was live, right? Is that what we're doing? That's what we're doing. Yeah. You're like, hey, are you guys accepting resumes?
I wouldn't do that to you.
No, that's hysterical.
Oh God.
That's hysterical.